Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Within Modern Warfare 3, arguably the best category in the game. I'm not even going to say arguably, it's pretty definitively the best category in the game. The assault rifles. These things dominate the multiplayer meta this year, whether you are fighting close range, more aggressively, some mid-range, or even some long range. These things melt. And initially I was just going to do a top 5 best assault rifle class setup video. Then I realized, hey, wait a minute, there's only 6 assault rifles. Let's just do a setup for every single rifle in the game. So today we are doing exactly that. As we get into the loadouts, if you enjoy the video or if you find it helpful at all, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications to always stay up to date with the latest news, updates, meta breakdowns, and everything else going on in MW3. But we are starting here first with one of my favorite weapons in the game, the MCW, aka the ACR. This thing is a low recoil beam. It absolutely fries. It's like I said, one of my favorites just because it feels so much so like the old ACRs that were heavy hitting, low recoil, easy to use rifles. That's exactly what we got here today. This is more of a mid to long range build that I love. Anyone can pick this thing up and do well with it. So initially here, as far as the optic goes, I'm a big fan of the ELO sight, or the MK3 reflector. It's a super clean blue dot. That said, there's also some other really solid ones. The slate reflector I'm a big fan of as well. Your classic red dot is very basic but easy to use. And really for most gunfights in this game, you're not fighting at extreme long distances unless you're specifically playing ground wars. So even just the basic dot sights are going to do well. You could also upgrade to maybe like a 2.4 times or a 3 times here. Optics are all about preference always, so use whatever you are the most comfortable with. I really like the A90 Venom stock. This is going to help out with your strafe speed, your movement speed, and your sprint speed. It's hurting your recoil gun kick by about 10%, but we can gain that back a bit by using other attachments that'll help out some, and it just makes us more aggressive and more versatile while still keeping it super low recoil. I do go for the choke angled grip here, and this is going to help out with your movement speed, your horizontal control, which is super convenient, and then strafe speed yet again. So you can see we're losing a bit of vertical. That's not a huge deal because that's the easiest recoil to control, but we gain horizontal gun kick and then movement speed yet again, making it more aggressive. The cast spray compensator here is mainly focused on just horizontal control, so it's going to make it so that there's no variance when you're shooting this. It's basically a straight vertical pattern, and that makes it super consistent and super reliable. And then I like the second line Mammoth heavy barrel. It helps out with velocity and range, just going to make it more efficient for the mid to long range, and really hurts things that are not super vital on a mid to long range rifle here. So very versatile setup, and like I said, so straightforward, it beams. Next up, we got what most people are calling the best rifle in the game, and it's hard to disagree, the Holger. This thing also ridiculously low recoil, very fast TTK. It's got everything going for it right now. This thing is pretty nuts, and I imagine it'll probably see some adjustments here soon. Yet again, here I do have the MK3 reflector, so very basic ELO sight there. I go for the Holger 26 factory stock in this case. This actually helps out with sprinted fire and like tac stance and stuff, but I'm really here for the recoil control. It's going to help out there and just make it a bit more aggressive, while also helping some with control over range, which is pretty convenient all things considered. I do have the Morin 20 rear grip on here again for even better control. It's gonna hurt your ADS movement speed a tad bit, and that's certainly noticeable in the setup. You don't have much strafe speed, so if that's something you're more focused on, you may want to throw in an alternative here. But I love just how simple this thing is. I can fight at 10 meters or I can fight at 100 meters in theory and have basically the same recoil control because of how easy this thing is to use. I do go for some mobility in the case of the Ole laser from MW2. This is going to help out a lot with that ADS speed and sprint to fire, so we sort of gain that back, so it's still nice and snappy and aggressive there. Then the choke angled grip yet again, going to help out with that strafe speed, the movement speed overall, and then some horizontal control at the same time. So overall, this thing is going to be a point and shoot style gun. You don't have to work to do well with it. There's a lot of different ways you can build this one in particular, and pretty much all of them are going to be great. After that, we've got the SVA, which is one of the more unique rifles because this thing can be honestly ridiculously nuts or just super competitive depending on how you play with it. If you spam that hyper burst, which is those first 2 bullets, so you basically just tap fire, this thing goes absolutely crazy, but the recoil also does as well, so it's much harder to consistently land shots. If you're just using this normally as a fully auto rifle, it's also still going to be pretty competitive all things considered, especially more so in the mid-range. So initially here, I've got the Komodo heavy compensator. This is going to be similar to the Cassis brake, but it's got a slower ADS speed, and in return you get more recoil gun kick and then vertical control benefit benefits on it as well. So pretty solid benefits there. Choke angled grip yet again, same deal as before. I really do like this on a lot of rifles because it does make it aggressive but helps with control at the same time. The Citadel rear grip here is for better gun kick control and a better ADS speed. It only hurts flinch, and so that's a huge positive there, really. The R11 stock here will help out with movement speed and gun kick yet again, so aggressiveness but also control benefits, really nice to see there. And then once more, the MK3 reflector or whatever optic you are the most comfortable with, always throw that on there and you're good to go. Very fun rifle to use. Hey everyone, in case you're planning on jumping into some Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer or zombies action here, or waiting for that Warzone integration with Season 1, trust me when I say jumping in with some G Fuel by your side is going to make the experience that much better. If you're grinding out the new weapon levels, going for the mastery camos, whatever the case may be, get that added boost. Right now, G Fuel has a bunch of new collaborations out, plenty of tubs and starter packs if you're looking to try a flavor for the first time, maybe restock on your favorites. They got a little bit of something for everyone. Throw in code Immortal at checkout, by the way, and you'll get yourself a nice little discount. Link for that will be down in the description below. Now, we've already talked about this one a bit, but the DG58 is insane. It's a burst rifle and it just melts through everyone. It is basically a 2-burst consistently at all ranges. It feels like if you are actually hitting all your burst shots, this thing just rips through enemies. You can spam it even with burst fire. That burst delay is not really anything too drastic, so this thing is a ton of fun to use. Again, a weapon that I could see getting nerfed here. So initially, Casus Break makes it so that there's basically no horizontal bounce whatsoever. The bursts are straight vertical and you're going to be super accurate because of that. I go for the LS18 barrel. This helps out with control and range, makes it even more lethal of a range. Obviously, burst weapons aren't the most aggressive in the world, so this is just optimizing it where it's already the most efficient. The Ripper Underbarrel helps out a ton with stabilization, and that's clutch for burst weapons. And that recentering, it makes it more accurate when you're spamming those bursts. MK3 reflector, of course, and then just behind the face cam, I do have the FSS Last Stand comb on there. This just helps out with sprint to fire and ADS. It makes it a tad bit more aggressive, and if you're looking for a screenshot there, that's all 5 attachments in one. But like I said, this is one of the more unique weapons in the game, but it's also one of the best hands down, not just in the category, but in the entire game. And then staying on trend with the burst weapons, the FR556, actually surprisingly good in this game. It's also like a consistent 2 to 3 bursts, super easy to use. Surprising how competitive this actually is over long ranges. Again, close range, it's kind of awkward to use bursts in general, but where this excels, man, does it excel. We're using a relatively similar setup here. I like the flash hider in this case, again helping out with that recoil control, and only hurts your ADS speed by 7.5%, so that's not really a huge con for some solid pros there for sure. Ripper Underbarrel, same deal as on the DG. Olay laser for that snappier ADS really is what I'm focused on there. I go for the slate reflector here. You could also go for the reflector if you wanted to, the ELO sight rather, the MK3 or any other optic you like more. Then I go for the SA Ion rear grip. This is for better control, just once more making it easier to use. Again, surprisingly, this is a weapon that you could build out in several different ways. You could go aggressive with the stocks and the combs, or you could go even more range with the barrels, and it's going to do well regardless. And then lastly, we've got the MTZ, which maybe is the most aggressive rifle in the category. If you wanted to, you could go all in on mobility and like movement with this thing and have basically an AR SMG hybrid that'll fry up close. I like more of a balanced approach with some aggression, but also some mid-range factors in there as well with like control and whatnot. So it's pretty versatile because that may be the most versatile rifle in the game. Casus Break here initially, again for the horizontal control, makes that pattern a lot more predictable. I actually go for the FTAC hand stop in this case. It helps out with strafe speed, vertical control, and movement speed. So this hurts your horizontal just a little bit, but that's not a huge deal because we are going to be using some stuff like, for instance, these close quarters assault stock, which helps out with control here and only hurts your ADS speed a bit. So we're getting some trade-offs between those two attachments that end up having more benefits than anything when you combine them. Slate reflector or any other optic here yet again, and then once more I do go for that Olay laser for that snappier ADS and sprint to fire. Like I said, very versatile rifle that can kind of do it wherever you need it to, and it'll do it well. So that being said, that is the best class setup for every single rifle here in MW3. That's gonna wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, drop a like on it. It would be really appreciated. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're up to date every single day with all things going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.